Okay, once I have drawn my image onto the larger piece of paper, the next thing I'm going to do is start coloring in. So that's why you see a bunch of X's, because the first thing I want to do is the checkerboard pattern in the background. So where I want to color in, I'm just going to call it black and white for now. I put in X where I want to have it black. This is white, black, white, black, white, just to remind myself. So I do this over the entire background. When I run into the part where I've drawn on top of it, okay, this one's colored in, right, black, this background's white, this is black, so that means that the background, I'm only coloring in the background and not the figure yet, okay? So on here, if this part is colored in black, then this part is also colored in black, okay? So I just do the background first, and then I color in. I'm going to use the large Sharpie marker, and I'm going to come back in just a few minutes after I do this. After I've colored in my whole background, now it's time to work on the actual figure. This part's a little tricky, and you have to make decisions about what you want to be black and what you want to be white, because there's so much overlapping that's going on. Like this hair is overlapping the wing, and so but generally, if this part is white, that means that the wing will be colored in. And I'm just going to do it with a pencil very lightly, or because I kind of visualize it, or you can do that X again, like I showed you before. So here, if it's white, this will be black, or I can shade it in. This is already white, so it's going to stay that way. This is already white, black, or sorry, black, white, black. So white, black, white, black. It just needs to change every single time it changes into a new square. So here's white. This one is going to be, you can either do the X or you can shade it in lightly since you're going to cover over it. Here, this little part, I have to remember to draw a line. This is black. Okay, so now that I know this is going to be shaded in, this will be white. So it's white, then it'll be black, white. That means this area should be black. That means the little bow area should be white. Let's see if I can get that in there. Okay, and then white, black. Now this is overlapping the wings, so now I have to make a decision. Am I going to color it in black, but then it's going to meet up against another black? Okay, is that going to be the best look, or do I leave them both white? If I color it in black, if that's my decision, I need to leave a white line right there. Okay, so that I can tell the difference between the two dark areas. Okay, so white, this should be black, but now look, see how I have three all together? Okay, so is that going to look good or not going to look good? What's going to happen, right? So now I have to think, what should I do? Maybe if it's all visual, you know, at this point. So if I have two whites next to each other and will that look okay? Questionable. Maybe I should erase this one. And then what if this is white, white, all the three, and then I color in the ribbon here. Will that look okay? This is white. This should be black in theory, but maybe I don't do it like that. And then if this is, if I choose to have my ribbon here, I kind of erased it, but here, okay, and this is shaded in. Then do I leave this white and then this is black? And then this is white. That means that this is shaded in, but I have a black square. So not sure if that's what I want, right? So maybe I leave this, and then I have this, and it's white, and then this is white, this is white, this should be black right there. This is shaded in here. This I'm going to shade in. This part should be then shaded in if I want that. This, am I going to shade it in or not? If I'm going to shade it in, then what that means is the mouth will be light and the eye will be light, and wherever I have a line, remember I have a dark line there, that I have to actually make that a white line. It's almost like you've drawn a white line instead of a black line. And then this meets up with the background, so I need to leave a white line there. And for this eye, I need to leave a white line there. Okay? And then the mouth, am I going to color in this dark? Maybe. Okay? So then I continue along. So what I suggest doing is shading in first, just very lightly, doesn't have to be perfect or anything, but just so you can visually see what you should color in and what you should not color in, like what you choose to do or not choose to do. If you make a mistake and you color in an area, don't use whiteout. Whiteout will look bad, it won't look great, and so I suggest either just leaving it or trying to fix it in a different way. So here's where this part is like pretty straightforward and easy, right? Like I color this part in, and remember you can use the thin Sharpie marker for the other areas. And so I will continue along, and let me get my example to show you how I finish this up. Okay. So this example is on the board, and so you can see how I decided in certain areas that I did choose to color in. I have a black background, but I wanted to also have the hair black, but I left the white line right there. Okay, and then same with the eye and the nose. I had to leave the white line for the nose, and around the eye, like the eyelashes had to be white. Okay, and so you know, you can look at the example and see how it was drawn. The last part that I wanted to show you is coloring in the background. So in order for your figure, you know, your image to pop out, choose a colored pencil. Doesn't really matter what color. I would choose something that's a little bit contrasting, such as a bright color against the Sharpie marker. And you just color in the squares that are not Sharpied in the background, but leave the actual image of your drawing not colored in, and it will pop out. And that's the last thing we do.